In a small town, there was a strange legend. People said that every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., an old bus with no route number appeared on an abandoned road. It was always empty, except for the driver. No one knew where it came from or where it went. Most people laughed at the story. Until one night, a university student named Artyom stayed out late with his friends. His phone battery was almost dead, the streets were deserted, and the last regular bus had already left. As he stood alone at the bus stop, he heard the low rumble of an engine. Out of the thick fog rolled an old bus. Its headlights glowed dimly, and the windows were so dirty that nothing inside could be seen. The doors slowly opened. "Get in," the driver whispered. "Does this bus go downtown?" Artyom asked. The driver didn't answer. Not wanting to walk home in the middle of the night, Artyom stepped inside. The bus was freezing, so cold that his breath turned to mist. The lights above flickered weakly. The bus began to move. After several minutes, Artyom noticed something strange. The same houses kept passing by the windows over and over again. It was as if the bus was driving in circles. He looked at his phone. No signal. The clock read 3:17. It never changed. Not a single minute passed. He walked to the door and pressed the stop button. Nothing happened. He knocked on the glass. "Please stop." The driver continued staring straight ahead. Through the rearview mirror, Artyom could see only the driver's eyes. Then he realized something horrifying. The driver never blinked. Not once. Time passed. Minutes, maybe hours. There was no way to tell. Suddenly, the bus stopped at an unfamiliar bus stop. An old woman climbed aboard. She silently sat in the very last row. A few minutes later, a little girl carrying a teddy bear entered. Then an old man in a worn-out suit. Then another passenger. And another. No one spoke. No one looked at anyone else. They simply sat in complete silence. Trying to calm himself, Artyom approached the old woman. "Excuse me, where are we?" She slowly turned her head toward him. In a trembling whisper, she said, "You were never supposed to come here." A chill ran down his spine. He hurried toward another seat. As he walked through the aisle, he noticed something impossible. None of the passengers had reflections in the windows. Only his own reflection appeared. The bus stopped again. Outside, no one was there. Yet the doors opened. It sounded as if someone invisible had stepped inside. The empty seat beside Artyom slowly sank, as though someone had just sat down. He heard heavy breathing, but there was no one there. The bus continued into the darkness. The lights flickered faster. Outside the windows, everything disappeared. No trees, no houses, no road, only endless blackness. Suddenly, his phone turned on by itself. A message appeared on the screen. "Don't look behind you. Unknown sender." Artyom froze. His heart pounded so loudly he thought everyone could hear it. Then he heard whispering behind him, very quietly, "Turn around." Again, "Turn around." More voices joined in. "Look at us. We're here. We've been waiting." Artyom shut his eyes. He didn't move. He didn't breathe. Then, silence. Absolute silence. Even the sound of the engine disappeared. A few seconds later, the driver spoke for the first time. "Good." The bus stopped. The doors opened. "You may leave." Artyom jumped out of the bus. The doors closed behind him. The bus disappeared into the fog. A minute later, a police car drove past. The officer looked at him in surprise. "What are you doing out here?" "I'm waiting for the bus." The officer's face turned pale. "There haven't been any buses on this road for 20 years. He explained that 20 years earlier, a terrible accident had happened there. A night bus had crashed off a bridge. The driver and every passenger had died. The route was closed forever. Artyom refused to believe it, until he finally reached home. His mother opened the door and burst into tears. Where have you been?" "I was just coming home." "You've been missing for 3 days." He looked at his phone. The time was finally changing, but the date was 3 days later. He tried to forget that night. He never could. Every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., he woke to the same sound, the slow creaking of old bus doors. Sometimes he heard an old engine idling beneath his bedroom window. Whenever he looked outside, there was nothing there. A year later, Artyom moved to another city. The sounds finally stopped. He believed it was over. Then one late evening, while waiting alone at a deserted bus stop, an old bus with no route number slowly pulled up. The doors opened. Behind the wheel sat the same driver. This time, he smiled. For the first time. Then, in a quiet voice, he said, "Now it's your turn to wait for the next passenger."